Now, everybody in the Fortnite community has been speculating about this announcement from Epic and what this update can mean for the game, but nobody has really mentioned anything about how crazy this update can be for ping and why ping might not even matter after the new patch is released. I saw this opinion only from one person named Crashy, who is a Fortnite expert in the field, and he broke it down for me in an exclusive interview. I also asked him many other questions that the community had in mind, and basically I learned that this new update can either make or break Fortnite. Here it goes. Alright, so now I am with KNG Crashy, a Fortnite expert in the field in the industry. Crashy, what the hell did Epic Games just release? What are they talking about regarding this engine?
So yeah, they just dropped the bomb on us, and it's actually pretty crazy because after all this time of like really kind of like a lot of silence from Epic and really not knowing like what's coming next, the season's delayed, it's kind of finally making sense. So they dropped this bomb on us, the Unreal Engine chaos physics system. That's kind of a mouthful to say, but I've actually been doing some research on it, and this is actually a quote coming out from Intel, and Intel is actually, part of the people that worked with Epic and Unreal Engine to put this physics system together. It's basically Hollywood quality physics simulation, and it's a destruction system. So the whole thing, like really the whole theme of this new engine is destruction. And the way that I think about it is there's pretty much two ways I think they'll be able to implement this, or one of two ways, or both, or something, some combination of this with what this engine is capable of. They're either going to implement this as like the new kind of like Fortnite 2.0 visually, where everything in the game is now crumpling and breaking and falling apart, and visually it's a really new refreshed feel to Fortnite, or they could introduce these physics that really change the way we play the game forever.
Wow. And if it does change the game, how would it change the game exactly?
So it's hard to say specifically, but the speculation that I have is that it's going to change the box fighting meta. Now, one discussion, and this is something that I've been talking about a lot for me personally, because I live in Texas with kind of like moderate level ping, is the hardest thing that I feel like Epic has tried to solve over, the last couple of seasons is like the box fighting ping advantages. And if this physics system changes the way that structures react to damage, then that physics system could change the box fight meta entirely. Instead of needing to take the entire wall from a player, you might now only need to blow portions out of the wall, like shoot the wall a couple times, pickaxe it a couple times, and expose a hole in the wall and force that player to make some kind of a, defensive or offensive engagement or movement to now kind of keep themselves safe. So, before, where ping was really relevant and, you were kind of fighting for control of the piece, the entire piece, now you might only need to fight for small windows of opportunity to land some of those shots.
Now, when this came out, you actually tweeted, you said, this is why ping won't matter in Chapter 2, Season 2. Why is that?
Yeah, I really think that Epic is smart. I think that they know that keeping Fortnite evolving and changing is important. And delaying the season as long as they have and introducing a whole new physics system to me is way more than a visual up. I can't imagine they're just putting this in to add some destruction to the game. I think it's really about time that they are looking to push the envelope on what's possible and how people actually engage in these fights. And I think if you're a high ping player, like someone like me, like I said, I live in Texas, I get like 30 to 50 ping depending on the time or the server that I'm on. And in a lot of these box fights in current, Fortnite right now, I really struggle to take walls, to hold walls. And if you can now expose builds just by doing damage to them, I think it's going to negate a lot of those issues. It doesn't matter what ping you're on. If you're able to expose a player inside of a build, I don't even have to take the wall. All I might have to do is blow a hole through it. Something similar to like Rainbow Six Siege, if y'all are familiar, you can blow holes through the walls and shoot through them. It might be something like that, and that could really change the way we play the game.
That's absolutely crazy, and this is the first time, the Fortnite team or Epic Games are posting something that's blanked off. So what do you think is exactly blanked off here?
Yeah, so the more I look at this, I think, man, we could go crazy and plug in things for it, but I have to try to think of something that I specifically want. For the longest time, we've had custom games, and they've just been kind of like this raw, kind of like tossed in version of custom games. And I like to imagine that it says, Season 2 will feature custom matches with multiple like customization options and an in-game UI. Something like that. where now instead of just having these custom codes that we all jump into, maybe there's like this whole menu for customization options. You can now run customs like professional games, or you could run like community customs with like low gravity, or maybe like infinite ammo or all snipers. So I'd really love to see them push the envelope on what's possible with custom games and give us a lot of settings to really start playing Fortnite the way we want to play, whether it be the competitive community or like the streamer casual community, and just give us something new.
So Fortnite has been kind of on a slight decline after its peak in, 2018 or the Fortnite World Cup. It's kind of been on a slight decline. Do you think that this new release, do you think it's going to bring back the game and even raise its peak back to what it was or even further?
It's hard to say and speculate if the game will ever reach its peak or go further, but I think undeniably you see these trends where, the game will catch its resurgence and people will definitely find that interest, and it's all about the execution, right? Like when you put a new system or a new engine in place, it's almost too attractive for one of the biggest games in the world for people not to come back and kind of re-experience. So what it's going to come down to is, what else do they do? What's under that blanked out text? What new version of the game do we get? What new changes to the map and the items and just the play in general? What is so fresh about this game? And we know they know how to do that because we've seen it time and time again, that will finally keep players coming back more and more and more. And again, this has been one of the longest seasons we've ever seen. I don't think that's the status quo for them. I think they were really working hard on this engine. I think they're ready to push something great and big and something that they've been working tirelessly on towards our way. And I do think that that's going to bring a lot more eyes and a lot more attention, a lot more announcements and hype around the game.
Okay guys, that's the interview. I want to thank the Fortnite expert Crashy for sitting down with me and being part of my interview. What do you guys think? Can Fortnite be the first online multiplayer game to make ping an irrelevant issue by adjusting its gameplay? Fortnite continues to push the boundaries of the gaming industry, and I definitely think it's possible. Tell me what you guys think down below in the comments. We would love to hear your thoughts. I'm Moetorious, and this video is brought to you by ESTNN.